What if Smilodons were alive today? We've already discussed whether dinosaurs would be able to live in today's world on the channel. And while that's a debate that'll be held for many years to come, until eventually they might actually be brought back, there aren't many prehistoric animals that could fit into today's world as well as the Smilodon. These saber-tooth cats are the ancestors of every large wildcat that you see on National Geographic. So, can these older cats keep up with the new blood? Today we'll be asking the question, what if Smilodons were alive today? What is a Smilodon? First off, let's briefly discuss a little about what Smilodon is before we get into the real meat of the video. So, Smilodon, also known as the saber-tooth cat, was this badass extinct cat-like creature that lived way back in the day during the Pleistocene epoch. Picture a regular cat, but with crazy long curved canine teeth. These guys roamed around North and South America between 2.5 million and 10,000 years ago. Fossils of these toothy predators have been found in places like the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles and the Rancho La Brea Formation in California. Now, when it comes to size, Smilodon wasn't messing around. There were 3 different species of Smilodon: the smallish Smilodon gracilis, the medium-sized Smilodon fatalis, and the big bad Smilodon populator. Smilodon gracilis weighed around 55 to 100 kilograms, 121 to 220 pounds, and stood about 1.1 meters, 3.6 feet tall at the shoulder. Smilodon fatalis was a bit beefier, tipping the scales at 160 to 280 kilograms, 350 to 620 pounds, and reaching a shoulder height of around 1.2 meters, 3.9 feet. Finally, the Smilodon populator took the crown as the largest of the bunch, weighing a whopping 220 to 400 kilograms, 485 to 880 pounds, and standing about 1.4 meters, 4.6 feet tall. These bad boys were all about hunting and taking down big plant-eating animals. They had the muscle and the teeth to get the job done, but we'll dive into that later in the video. For now, you just need to know that they were dangerous. So, with that brief introduction out of the way, let's dig into the real meat of today's video. What if the saber-toothed cats were alive today? We recently talked about how the jaguar is a cornerstone species. By this, we mean that they're one of the animals that have a massive impact on not only the environment it lives in, but also on the food chain it dominates. Well, if the jaguar is a modern-day cornerstone species, then the saber-toothed cat will definitely also be one. Let me explain. Competition with existing predators. First, Smilodon's reintroduction would introduce a powerful competitor to the existing predators in the Americas. Large carnivores like wolves and bears would obviously face increased competition for food and territory. But let's dive a little deeper into how the Smilodon would actually compete with the pre-existing predators. Smilodon had a few tricks up its sleeve that would make it stand out from the crowd, and the competition would revolve around things like food, territory, and hunting styles. As we mentioned before, Smilodon was a beast in terms of size and strength. It was much larger than your typical big cat like a cougar or jaguar. With its muscular build and those badass long canines, it would definitely have the advantage in direct confrontations. Smilodon's sheer size and power would likely intimidate its competitors and lead to some serious clashes over resources and territory. So the other predators would have to get smart and come up with different ways to take them on. Speaking of hunting, Smilodon had a unique style. While other big cats rely on agility, speed, and stealth, Smilodon had a different game plan. Its saber-like canines were made for delivering crushing bites to immobilize its prey. Smilodon was all about the ambush. It would surprise its victims and use its strong forelimbs to pin them down, while going in for the fatal bite. This suggests that Smilodon probably went after larger prey, like bison or horses, rather than relying on fancy footwork and chasing down faster targets. So, to avoid stepping on each other's toes, competing big cat species would likely find ways to divide up the resources. They'd occupy different niches within the ecosystem by targeting different prey or staking out different habitats. Smilodon's preference for larger prey and its ambush strategy might lead to specialization in certain territories or focus on prey that other cats aren't as keen on. This way, they could reduce direct competition with other big cats that have different hunting styles or go after different types of prey. It seems to be the only way to move forward. Otherwise, we could see a decline in the population of some major cat species, like lions or jaguars. Of course, territories would be a big deal too. Large cats are all about staking their claim and defending their turf. We don't call the lion the king of the jungle for nothing. With Smilodon in the mix, there would be some serious territorial disputes with other big cats, like lions or tigers. They'd be marking their territories, throwing down in physical confrontations. It'd be like a big cat showdown to establish dominance and secure resources. Influence on prey behavior. Secondly, the mere presence of Smilodon would have a profound impact on the behavior of potential prey species. Let's talk about it. First off, the prey would be on the move. They'd change up their usual migration patterns to avoid running into Smilodon's stomping grounds. Nobody wants to be on the menu, right? So they'd take different routes, timing their movements to dodge encounters with this mega predator. Habitat selection would be a big deal too. Prey species would get picky about where they hang their coats. They'd be looking for spots with lots of hiding places, like thick forests or rugged terrain, where they can blend in and stay safe from ambushes. This could mean some areas become more crowded with prey animals, while others become ghost towns. Large open fields with tall grass would be Smilodon's dream hunting ground. When it comes to chow time, the prey would be extremely on edge. They'd be extra cautious while munching on their meals, constantly keeping an eye out for signs of danger. No leisurely dining for them. It would be quick bites with frequent interruptions to make sure they don't become Smilodon's next snack. Social life would get interesting too. To boost their odds of survival, prey animals might join forces and hang out in bigger herds or mixed species groups. Safety in numbers, you know. Smilodon's presence would make them realize that sticking together is a smart move when facing a predator with a serious bite. Over time, this constant fear of Smilodon would shape the prey animal's evolution. Those who have traits that help them detect, avoid, or survive encounters with Smilodon would have the upper paw. So we might see prey species with super senses like better eyesight, hearing, or smell. They might also become faster, more agile, or develop defensive behaviors to up their chances of escaping Smilodon's clutches. Interactions with humans. And of course, how could we possibly leave out Smilodon's interaction with the dominant species on Earth, the human race? There's no easy way to say it, but if the Smilodon had survived all this time, or if they were brought back scientifically and were able to live in the same time period as modern-day humans, the situation would still look pretty grim for them anyway. Let me explain why. It's likely their large saber teeth would have been highly revered and sought after, similar to how other animals with unique cranial features are prized. Just like people value elephant ivory or collect deer antlers, Smilodon's teeth or skulls would have held a special fascination. The distinct shape of their skulls and cranial features might have been considered aesthetically pleasing, leading to depictions of their silhouettes and skulls on various items. However, despite the potential admiration for Smilodon's distinctive traits, their survival would still have been precarious. Their unique body structure would have made them vulnerable to overhunting or poaching, as humans historically have sought after animals for their valuable hide and teeth. Also, the expansion of human settlements and development would most likely have led to habitat loss and a decline in available prey, further threatening the survival of Smilodon. Moreover, the presence of Smilodon in close proximity to human populations could have posed a significant danger. Throughout history, it's factual that humans have often hunted two types of animals to extinction: those that provide abundant food and posed minimal risks, and those that were large and highly dangerous. When humans perceive a large predator as a potential threat to their safety, they are more inclined to eliminate it. This defensive instinct, combined with the perceived danger of Smilodon, might have increased the likelihood of humans targeting and hunting them. So technically, the only thing that's a threat to Smilodon would probably be the people that brought it back in the first place. Talk about irony. Well, that was our take on what would happen if the Smilodon was alive and well today. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on videos like this. See you next time.